Welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight, commercial free on this Monday night. Ask any establishment politician what they fear most, and they'll probably tell you it's populism. The people rising up against the elites who mostly control their lives. For as much fear as they have of this grave threat, you would think that they'd understand it's simply a response to their own leadership. Right now, populists are cleaning house all over the world. In Argentina, Javier Milei. In the uber-liberal Netherlands, Geert Wilders. And over the past week, Ireland's government has given us an explicit look at the kind of despicable and soulless leadership that leads to populist uprisings and full-throttle government overhauls. Last Thursday in Dublin, an Algerian immigrant went on a stabbing spree outside an elementary school. He stabbed 4 people. 3 were very small children, one of whom, a 5-year-old girl, is still fighting for her life. The crime shocked this small country and naturally came with harsh criticism for the Irish government and arrogant globalist leaders pushing a bumper sticker agenda that nobody actually wants. Thursday night, the people of Ireland sent a strong message to their government through a very violent protest, basically a riot. The following day, Ireland's Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar, an immigrant who was born in India, who now rules over a country that is 94% white Irish, well, Varadkar shamed the people of his country, people angry over his unending push to diversify their country, no matter the cost. Here's what he said.
To all those cowardly champions of Ireland who took to the streets of Dublin last night, let me say one thing. Ask your sisters, ask your friends, ask everyone you know what they fear most on our streets. They're afraid of you, afraid of your anger and your rage, afraid of your violence, your hate, and how you blame others for your problems.
Problems you gave them. Decimate your country with mass migration from dangerous places and then call your people cowards when they get upset. That's exactly why populism exists. And it wasn't just last week's mass stabbing that led to this point. Last year, Aisling Murphy was murdered by an immigrant, stabbed 11 times by Jozef Puska while out for a jog. Also last year, 2 gay men murdered by Iraqi asylum seeker Yusuf Palani, both targeted because they were gay, both stabbed to death, one was beheaded, both bodies mutilated. In a nation of only 5 million people, smaller than the borough of Brooklyn, these stories carry serious weight. They don't see this kind of thing in Ireland. They don't see children stabbed outside of the school in Ireland. It's a very small country. 141,000 migrants were imported by Ireland's globalist elite in 2023 to a country that small. Think of that. 141,000 to a country of 5 million. More than half of them were not European. Ireland's culture is being intentionally decimated like nearly every other sophisticated Western society, and if you don't like it, you're the problem. That's the message. One of the most famous people to come out of Ireland is UFC fighter Conor McGregor, who has been an incredible voice of reason, speaking for the forgotten people of his homeland. The night after those protests and riots, McGregor tweeted this. Despicable scenes last night in Dublin city centre, people looting shops amidst the anger and rage Ireland has for the many failed policies of government. Has this regime ever had even one successful policy? Health service in shambles, abominable housing crisis, immigration wide open, climate hypocrisy rubbed in our face, danger on our streets at an all-time high. Can we point to any successes? We can lambaste these wasters looting and damaging our streets last night, and we will. But when it passes, the spotlight shines again firmly on the many, all failed policies of this Irish government. McGregor also tweeted the same day that he wanted torture and death for the man who slashed 3 children and a teacher right in front of their elementary school. Seems pretty sensible to most of us. The response from the Irish government, though? Well, Conor McGregor, the boxer, is now under investigation for online hate speech. The tactics from the people destroying our societies are the same everywhere you go. It's always like this. Ireland's government has been working vigorously to pass a hate speech bill, which thankfully is now plummeting in support. The bill states a person shall be guilty if the person prepares or possesses material that is likely to incite violence or hatred against a person or a group of persons on account of their protected characteristics. A very useful tool to silence any and all dissent. An Irish senator who's very desperate for its passage, not to protect the people, but for her own reasons, had a very familiar grift when she spoke about it. They need this bill to protect the people.
We are restricting freedom, but we're doing it for the common good. If your views on other people's identities go to make their lives unsafe, insecure, and cause them such deep discomfort that they cannot live in peace, then I believe that it is our job as legislators to restrict those freedoms for the common good.
What's scary is how many people don't understand how quickly that gets abused when people have power. Journalist Michael Schellenberger with a recent write-up voicing the very obvious. Politicians urge censorship of the disasters they create. Exactly.